In the previous session, we were discussing about auto patch and several other options, like what are the types of patches, like what are the patch formats and all these things. So we have already discussed like what is merge patch and how to merge patches, like what are the constraints to merge patches and the necessary to merge patches and all these things. So now, like yesterday, even though I have shown you AD patch options, like I would like to review the AD patch options once again. So basically, if you're having a less downtime in your production, okay, if they have given a less downtime window for your production, and there are higher number of patches what you have to apply, what you're gonna apply. So there are some couple of methods in order to reduce the downtime for patching. So a couple of methods would be like using AD merge patch. Okay, using AD merge patch, by using AD patch options, so by using shade apple top, these kind of things, and by using defaults file. So there is one more option called as default file. So I'll show you that also. Okay, with the help of AD merge patch, we can merge patches. So if there are five patches, what you're gonna apply, you can you are supposed to apply five patches individually for your application. So which may take long time. Okay, so for each and every time you start patching, like it will ask you for some couple of prompts where you have to enter the answers and you have to submit the answers for that, right? So whenever you are executing AD patch, it is asking you for some prompts like is this the correct apple top, is this the correct database, is this the correct is this the log file name what you want to take, and all these things, right? So five times, if you're submitting the same options for five times, it will waste you almost 10 minutes. So that kind of thing, and it will take it is having some manual burden over there. So in order to reduce that kind of thing, they have given an option called as AD merge patch. So with the help of AD merge patch, we can merge patches. So you can merge five patches into one patch, and you can apply the merged patch to the application, so that the five patches will be applied to your applications. Okay. Of course, like in order to no, you can't merge all the patches basically. So there are some constraints for merging patches. So we should not merge base language patch with NLS language patch. So we should not merge ATG patches with non-ATG patches, and we should not merge tech stack patches with application patches. We should not merge AD and FND patches with other patches. Okay. So in order to merge patches, you have to download the patches and you have to create two directories, source and destination. So you have to unzip the patches and you have to place all the unzipped files in source directory, and then you have to give adpatch-s source directory -d destination directory. So if you don't want to merge the if you don't want to unzip the patches, then also there is one option. Okay, so there is an option called as manifest file. Okay, so if you don't want, if there are 100 patches, so unzipping the patches itself will take a lot of time, right? So if you don't want to unzip the patches and if you want to merge all these patches, so then there is an option called as manifest file. So at this point of time, you have to create a text file. Okay, so you have to create a text file. Let us take an example of text file name as abc.text. You have to place the full path of the you have to place full path of the patch zip file. Okay, you have to, let us take an example of patch number. Okay, this is 123.zip. Okay, this is in this is residing in location slash backup slash patch. Okay, so you have to open a text file and you have to place the full path of the patch in the text document. Okay, and then you have to give this syntax. You have to create two directories, of course, over here also. So ad merge patch -s source -d destination manifest, and then the text file name. So if you give manifest and the text file name, what happens is your ad merge patch will look into the file abc.text. So in your abc.text, you are having the full path of the patches. So it will unzip the patches and it will keep in the source directory. It will merge the patches and keep the output file in the destination directory. Okay. So this is what your ad merge patch will do. Here you are reducing the burden of unzipping patches also. Okay. Sorry guys, like I'm suffering with cold.
No problem, Santosh. It's up to you. Till when, what time you want to take, you can take, and we'll stop when you're feeling uncomfortable.
No, no, like I can continue with the session. Next, and the next is AD patch options. Thank you for that. So AD patch options. So I'm just taking an example that you are going to apply 10 patches. Okay, you are going to apply 10 patches. So each time when you are applying a patch, in the last, okay, in the last, your AD patch will compile the invalid objects which got generated with the patch. Okay, not only this patch, it will try to compile all the invalids in your Oracle application. Okay, so let us take compiling invalid object is taking 1 hour of time. Okay, so or else you can just take 10 minutes of time. Okay, you are just going to apply 10 patches. So how much time it will take only to compile the invalid objects? It will it will take almost 1 hour 40 minutes only to compile the invalid objects, right? So at this point of time, I will tell you one thing. So for the first 9 times, okay, for the first 9 times when you are going with patching, you just give options equals to no compile db. Okay, options equals to no compile db. What happens? For the first 9 times, it will not compile invalid objects. Okay, so here you are saving 1 hour 30 minutes of downtime. And for the last time, okay, for the last time means for the last patch, you just give you just don't give this option. AD patch options equals to no compiling. You don't give this option. You just execute AD patch and then proceed. So what happens? For the last time, it will try to compile the invalid objects, right? So here you are saving how much of downtime? You are saving almost 1 hour 30 minutes of downtime. Okay. So this is not recommended with for your production environment, but sometimes like if there is lesser downtime, you can proceed with this approach. No. Okay. Did you get that or not?
Santosh, suppose if you use AD merge to apply 10 patches, so
Okay.
then this no compiler, no need, only one time it will do.
Yes, yes. There is you're asking a very good question. So I am going to apply. You're having some constraints with merge patches, right? You should not merge base language
Yeah,
patches
yeah,
with NLS language patches. Then at this
yeah.
point of time, you should not merge ATG patches with non-ATG patches. At this point of time,
Mm-hmm.
so in this point of time, your AD patch options will be used, will be helpful. Okay.
Okay.
Next, in the same way, you can give AD patch options equals to no compile JSP also, no auto config also, like that. Okay, these three are means for the state. Next, AD patch options equals to hard patch. So if you want to apply patches without shutting down the applications and without keeping the database in the maintenance mode, then you can go with AD patch options equals to hard patch option. So it means with the help of AD patch options equals to hard patch, your AD patch will apply the patch when your applications are up and running. You don't need to shut down your database, sorry, application. Okay, until and unless your AD patch readme.txt says you to apply the patch in hot patch, you should not apply. Okay, so if, whenever your readme.txt says you can apply the patch in hot patch, then only you can apply this with hot patch. Okay, next. AD patch options equals to maintenance mode. So in order to just design this probably like many people might not be knowing this. So AD patch options equals to maintenance mode. So what is maintenance mode? When do we keep maintenance mode? What is the sequence to apply a patch? So first you have to shut down the application and then keep the database in maintenance mode. Database or applications, keep applications in maintenance mode. Apply patch, remove, disable maintenance mode, right? So here what are you doing? You are only using AD admin utility in order to use maintenance mode for 2 times. Okay, first AD admin and then maintenance mode, AD patch and then AD admin disable maintenance mode. So here you can skip that AD admin also. Okay, so with the help of options equals to maintenance mode, this option will be helpful only if you are going with one or two patches, one patch basically. So if you give AD patch options equals to maintenance mode, so after shutting down your application, your AD patch will enable the maintenance itself. Your AD patch itself will enable the maintenance mode for your applications. It will apply the patch, and your AD patch itself will disable the maintenance mode. Okay. So here also you are reducing the burden, right? So that is what the maintenance mode is. AD patch options equals to maintenance mode will itself the AD patch itself will enable and disable the maintenance mode. copy portion. See, like there are three drivers in your for your AD for your patch. One is C phase, one is D phase, and the other one is G phase. So if you want to skip any phases, so you can give these options also. AD patch options equals to no copy portion, options equals to no database portion, options equals to no generate portion. These kind of things. Okay. Basically, AD patch options equals to, we will be using AD patch options equals to no database portion whenever we are applying patch in external. Okay, I will tell you the sequence first. When to apply patch in external, internal, and all this. Then I will go with this. I will explain you this option. Okay. So the hierarchy will be, first you have to apply a patch. So first you have to apply patch in internal node. Okay. So external is nothing but your proxy server. Okay. So proxy server is where like the end users apart from your organization will be trying to connect to the application. Okay. So some you can call it as some third party vendors example, as an example. So they'll be using the external application in order to connect to your database. So your external applications will be placed in the internet, whereas your internal application will be placed in the local area network, okay, in the LAN, in their network. Okay, this is just an example. So most of the people will follow this kind of architecture. Okay. So at this point of time, at the external level, you will maintain one application, and at internal level, you will maintain one application. So just understand this scenario. So there are three application nodes for internal, and there are three application nodes for external. You can configure shared AppleTop for these three internal nodes, and you can configure shared AppleTop for these three external nodes. Okay. So, but you cannot configure a shared AppleTop for external and internal. Okay, your external and internal cannot use the same applications because the external applications are the applications which are beyond your LAN, beyond your network. They are not inside the network. Okay, so this is what the thing is. So, when at this point of time, in this with this kind of architecture, so whenever you are going with AD patch, so you have to first what you have to do is you have to apply patches in internal. Okay, so at this internal level, so whenever you are applying a patch, what happens? It will copy the files to, it will perform C driver. Okay, it will do the database portion. A database portion, what it will do? It will execute the SQL statement. It will execute the SQL packages and procedures for the database, right? So first is copy portion. It will copy the files to the applications. The second one is database portion. At this database portion, it will try to execute SQL statement. Let us assume your patch is bringing an SQL file called abc.pkb or abc.pks. So it executed in the when you are applying patch in the internal. Okay. So and no database portion. So it is bringing on abc.fmx. It got generated. Now you are applying patch in the external node. You are applying patch in the external node. So at external node also you have to copy, right? You have to copy, right? It will copy the files. So it will again, if you give options equals to node, if you give options equals to database portion, what happens? It will try to execute the SQL statement again. Is it correct or not? It will try to execute the SQL statement again. So the SQL statements have the SQL pack abc.pkb and abc.pks are already executed in the database. So what is the necessity of executing them again in the database, which is of no use and which takes some time. So to skip this, see here you have to understand one thing. Your internal applications and your external applications both are associated with the same database which is listed in your network.
Santosh, can we use these options like AD patch options equal to no database portion, comma no copy portion, comma? Can we give multiple options there?
Yes, you can give. See, whenever you want to specify multiple options, you can just keep comma and you can just give multiple options like that.
Okay. Okay.
So as of now, you understood what the thing is, right? So whenever you want going to apply patch in the external node, you can give this option AD patch node options equals to node database portion like that. Okay. And generate portion, you have to give it either for internal or external. This is the scenario. Now I'll ask you one more question.
Yeah.
So let us take your let us think.
Santosh, this external and internal.
Yes, external and internal.
It's a very rare scenarios, right? So generally application will be located internally in the LAN, same LAN, right?
Yes, yes. Generally, it will be locating in the same LAN, but some people might configure applications in external. Okay. So it depending on the environment. That's it. Depends on the environment.
Okay. Okay.
So how do you apply a prerequisite patch when patch had been started? Let us take an example of a big patch, which is of 500 MB. Okay. So you are applying a 500 MB patch. Unfortunately, when you are reviewing the README, they have specified one prerequisite patch for this main patch. Okay, are you getting the point or not? So you are going to apply a big patch which has a prerequisite patch. So you forgot to apply the prerequisite patch and you are proceeding with the main patch. So let us take the patch takes of 5 hours to apply, which is of 500 MB. Okay. So the 4 hours of patching has been completed. It means like almost the patch has been done. At last, it is throwing an error that so and so prerequisite patch is missing, or else so and so particular file is missing. So what you will do? You are having only 5 hours of downtime. So at this point of time, there is one scenario. Okay, there is one kind of uh, technique what we have to follow. So you know that patch maintains the workers information in two tables: FND install processes, AD defer jobs, right? And then it contains some information in the restart files in Appletop admin SID restart directory, right? So now what I will do is I will take these two tables backup. I'll take these two tables backup in the database. Okay. I'll take restart directory backup in the application level file system. Now I will delete these two. Okay. Identify the prerequisite patch and drop the above two tables and remove restart files. After taking necessary backups, drop these two tables, remove the restart directory. Now apply prerequisite patch. Okay. Apply prerequisite patch, and then after applying the prerequisite patch, restore the tables and restart files from backup. You have taken a backup of this table, right? These two tables, right? You just have to restore them. After restoring them, what you have to do? Restore the tables and restore them. Apply the main patch. So again, if you do AD patch, it will ask you your previous AD patch session did not run to completion. Do you want to start it now? So at this point of time, you have to give you have yes, so that your AD patch will continue from the previous session. So see, it will ask you to continue from last session, then continue session. We can say down. Is it clear? Waiting for the answer.
Yeah. Yes, Santosh.
Next, I am going to tell you what is a default file. So how to create a default file. So instead of responding to auto patch prompts each time you initiate a patching session, you store the responses in a default file, and then you can submit the default file to the AD patch so that your AD patch will take the default option from your default file. Okay. So basically, what you will do in order to apply a patch, you will respond at least you'll respond to 10 prompts minimum 6 to 7 prompts you have to respond, right? So if you give all that if you give all that options in a file called defaults file, and if you submit the defaults file to the AD patch, your AD patch will take the default values from that file. Okay, I'll show you. As of now, I'm starting the database. So as of now, I have started the database. So I'm in the application tier now. So I will show you how to create a default file. So first go to Appletop admin SID. Okay, here you will see seeded default file. Okay, so this is a file which comes with your applications. You just take a backup of that file, AKP 2707/2015. Okay, so after doing this, now you just go to patch location. Okay, so there are two patches. So AD patch. Okay, if you want to give multiple options, this is I'm showing again. Options equals to no compile DB, no compile JSP, no database portion, no generate portion, and you can give any others maintenance mode. You can give any of the options you want. Okay, so like that. Next, AD patch. I'm showing you the default file. Default file equals to the same default file what you have taken backup at dollar or else. You just go to this location and touch.
Are we going to make changes to that file?
Yes, yes, we are going to make changes to that file. So
Okay.
I'm showing you how to make changes. So AD patch for the first time, default file equals to
Spelling Santosh. DFAY. DFAU. Yeah.
so AD patch default file equals to the same. I'm giving right for the first time. What it is doing? See. Oh, it is already having. It is already having the values. So that's why it is taking. Okay.
It,
Previously, I
it
have
is
stored
taking.
some information in that file. So it is taking the previous values. Okay. So if the previous
Okay.
values are not there, what happens?
Is it not taking the default as S and it is proceeding? I'm just guessing that it is taking all the default as S and it is proceeding. Is it not the case, Santosh?
No, no, that is what for the first time, whatever the options you supply over there, then only it will take. I'll create a new and I'll show you so that you can understand. So as of now, there is no default file. Okay. AD patch. See, I'm giving same. See what it is asking. So for the first time, it is asking some prompts, right? If you want, you can give the change the file. You should not change over here. So do you wish to continue with this feature? No. Enter batch size. So if you are going with multiple patches, you can increase the batch size. Uh, as some patches will be big, then some patches will be small. This is the correct database. Yes. System password manager. Apps password apps. If you change your apps password, your old default file will not be used. So it is asking the default directory of patches is this. There will be one more patch directory under this. It won't it won't record this option. Okay. It is asking for the driver file. I'm just giving the driver file again. Patch number not DRB. Okay, so here we have given some options, right? We'll take you to another patch. Let us assume we have applied one patch using default file. Now, for the second patch, I'm giving AD patch default file equals to default. It has taken all the default values. See, it is asking you for the directory. Give the directory patch number and patch number.dre. Would you like to be applied already? No, I'm just keeping. So this is just an example to show the default file option. Okay, is it clear? You're having any questions?
No, Santosh. Can we open that default file and have a look at it, Santosh?
I'll show you.
If you are, yeah.
What it is taking? This is the what it is asking the question, right? And it is storing some value or somewhere. It is default DB name. It is broad.
Okay.
This is the correct target of yes. Log file name. This is the log file name we have given. Deactivate email. No, we have given no answer. Default batch size. We have given 3000.
Hmm. So
Oracle
when it
Chrome.
comes to password, when it
Yes,
comes to
I'll show
password,
you. I'll show you. See. It is asking for the system password. What it is storing?
yeah.
It is storing it in an encrypted format. Okay. So your
Hmm.
default file will never store the password in alphabetical order, like in alphabets. It will store the password in encrypted manner. Okay.
Hmm.
Thousands of brains work over there.
No, anyways, if you have that as well, people can log into the system database, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's a security threat, if you ask me.
So now we will discuss about the two important tables which are related to patching. Okay. The first one will be AD underscore applied underscore patches, and the second one will be AD underscore bugs. Okay. So AD underscore applied underscore patches contain the patches information. If you apply one patch, okay, let us assume the patch number is 123. What AD applied patches contain? It contains 123. Let us assume your patch number 123 is going to fix three bugs, bug 1, bug 2, bug 3. So the bug related information will be residing in AD underscore bugs. So one more important thing is if you merge a couple of patches and if you apply, okay, so the merged information will be residing in AD underscore applied underscore patches, but you don't see the information like how many patches you have merged, all this information in AD underscore applied underscore patches. So whereas your AD underscore bugs contain whether the bug is resolved or not. So if you want to query whether the patch has been successfully applied or not, you have to query AD underscore bugs table rather than AD applied patches. Okay.